Hey, what's up? Just wanted to jump on a video as someone on my Instagram asked me a really important question. They asked me what my opinions are on foam rolling. So I've got a couple of tools here that I have. The foam roller, this is a particularly nasty, bobbly one because like the trend went down, like a soft, smooth foam roller is good. But if you really want some good action, you go for the evil bobbly ones because they can get in there more. I'm going to talk more about why that's incorrect. I've got Lacrosse Ball here. Very, very popular in recent years to be able to be a bit more pinpoint. So this will disperse a lot of the weight distribution over a big area, but the more pinpoint, the more pressure it can get. And I've also got something that you may not have seen, something called Voodoo Floss. Which is a wrapping technique, which is the same science. It causes a tight pressure around a muscle group, which puts you in an uncomfortable, sensitive position. So similar to this adds pressure, this adds pressure, and this adds pressure. So they all do a similar science. So I just wanted to give my opinions on all of these things, because it's really, really important, because there is a trend towards leaning towards foam rolling to help fix back pain, to help fix injuries. And the science and the evidence is pretty clear that these can't fix you. And you might be watching this video thinking, well, that's not true because foam rolling's helped me get through. And I'm going to describe in this video as to why you might have had a good response from foam rolling, but also why the evidence will suggest that foam rolling doesn't have a long-term effect on reducing injury rates or helping you get into better positions. So the previous narrative, and one that I used to spout as well, so what we used to believe about foam rolling is that similar to a rolling pin, let's imagine this as a rolling pin going over bread. It lengthens, it smooths out your muscles, and it will work on knots and just roll them out so your muscles are lengthened, which means you can get into better positions, you'll be more flexible. And we used to believe that, and we'd be rolling up and down. Remember, someone's got your IT band outside your leg, it'd be excruciating, painful, you'd be like, oh, and moaning throughout the whole of it and be like, it's doing me good. We don't believe that to be the case any longer. Evidence just suggests that our bodies are way too strong to be affected by the weight of your body weight on a roller like this. And if you think about it, that's quite true. Otherwise, every time a rugby tackle was taken in a rugby match, like their bodies would be morphed into this weird shaped position. Like our bodies are much stronger. They can take much more force than your body weight, similar to a chiropractor clicking you and realigning your spine. We know that our bodies are much stronger, not fragile enough to be able to be moved by that level of force. We need much more force to be able to change the shape of our body. So we no longer believe that this is getting rid of knots or lengthening our muscles or any of those kind of terms that foam rolling has been done. However, I still use these tools, but in a different way to how you believe. So we just changed the narrative. Now, a lot of therapists will be out there and be like, you don't need to. And I agree that these aren't here to fix you. But I believe through my clinical practice, and maybe going against research a little bit, which challenges my bias, that we can use these tools to help. They're relatively inexpensive. You get these for £6-7 off Amazon. I think this was £10 off Amazon. It's a relatively inexpensive way to help get short-term results. Now, notice how I say short-term results. These cannot be part of your daily practice and then that's enough. Like these are here to help get you a short window for you to then move. So instead of believing before that foam rolling was actually fixing our injuries and was helping, actually what we know now is that this can give you a short-term window which can calm your nervous system down to a level that can get you into better positions, let's say deeper in a squat, further with a shoulder rotation, make you more flexible for the short term, more mobile for the short term, and then you back that up with strength training. So it's the strength training and the extra movement that we now believe actually helps solve and reduce your pain levels and increase the speed that you can get over persistent pain. So that's how I would use these things. So no longer are we like a rolling pin going over muscles and thinking they're lengthening us out. But what I like to use these tools for is to help with our breath work. So again, I've talked about movement, strength training, and now breath work. These are the three things that are going to help reduce pain and help you with your training get back to everyday lives. Not so much these, but these are the tools that can help put you in a more uncomfortable position, which helps you build resilience. So for example, breath work has been shown by evidence and science to help reduce our fight or flight, our stress response in our nervous system, which we know when our nervous system is on high alert, that it can contribute to extra pain levels. Now, if we can calm that down with breath and changing our state of mind and body, we can actually lower our pain levels. Now, that's done through breath work or meditation, which does have research to show us that it can reduce pain. Now, I like to use like a lacrosse ball to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. So it might be a pressure on this, and you might have been on one of these or a foam roller, to put you in an uncomfortable state of mind. So your mind, when lying on one of these, let's say on the top of your glutes or in the lower back, that might be a sensitive area for you. If you follow me, it's probably the case. Now we can put this on a sensitive area. Let's say top of the glute. You might have heard the term glute medius as a great place, a sensitive place for you. So we'll put that ball in there. Now, instead of rolling around like a maniac and believing that we're breaking up knotty tissues and lengthening muscles, like, we no longer believe that kind of thing anymore. But what you can use this is to create a response in the nervous system that sends you into high alert. So if your nervous system believes there's danger around, it's going to send pain. Now, your nervous system believes when you're lying on this thing that it's going to cause like damage in your body, and it sends pain. Get off this ball, get off this ball. So instead of like gritting our teeth and rolling around like a lunatic on one of these things, we actually need to calm everything down. And we're going to use breath work to be able to do that. So when we're lying on this ball, it's likely that your brain's saying, get the hell off. I'm going to send pain to you to say, get off this thing. This is dangerous. So it, like, pain goes up. We're like, oh, that's the spot. You hear that a lot, like, oh, that's the spot. And our places go like we're sucking on a lemon. Like, we're really in a dangerous position according to our nervous system. So in order to overcome that, we need to breathe. So we take a big breath in, and this is the system. This is the breath work I like to use whilst on these tools. So it's a 4-second breath in, all the way in. And that's an active response. We then tense our glutes, we tense our back, we tense our core for 4 seconds. Now that's causing a force against this ball, okay? And then long, slow, relaxing exhale where we try and relax the muscle. Now this is mindfulness, again, proven by research to help lower pain levels. We're focusing on spot where that ball is, where that pain spot is, that sensitive spot is. We just relax on there. And then we repeat 4 seconds in, 4 second tense, 8 second nice relaxed breath out. Now you can repeat that between 5 breaths, 2 minutes, whatever you like to do. But what this is teaching you is put ourselves in an uncomfortable situation, an uncomfortable environment, lying on a really firm ball, and then we calm our mind down. Now what I like about this is, one, you get a short-term win. So it calms our response down to pain. 2, it teaches us that pain doesn't mean damage, and we can actually work through it with some breath work and with some movement. And 3, that you can then use that new reduced state where we calmed everything down with breath work and then go into some movement. It might be a walk, it might be training, it might be putting yourselves in yoga positions. I don't care what training you're doing, but what it can do, it can help you get further into positions, which then teaches our nervous system that, hey, these positions are okay. It might be a deeper squat. It might be a downward dog in your yoga position. But use that short-term window where your nervous system is calmed down to be able to move and get your training in. And that's how I like to use these balls. So instead of believing, once again, that this is changing your physiology, your body, this is realigning your hips because you're loosening one of your back muscles, like, don't believe that. That's not actually true. We're much stronger than that. Your body's much more capable than adapting to something so small. Sorry, I believe we just cut off there. Wait, we're back. So, but what we do believe is actually putting ourselves in an uncomfortable situation and getting used to being comfortable. What's that? Being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Getting used to. There's some sort of saying. Anyway, putting ourselves in those situations can actually build our resilience. Now, this is very, very similar to cold water exposure at the moment. We're hearing about the benefits of cold showering or cold water swimming on pain levels. Now, same thing. Is it the cold that's helping? Because like we've got that link to physiology that ice helps pain and reduce pain. Like we tend to believe now that it's not the cold water that's helping you with that, but it's the habit of putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation and breathing through it and changing our state of mind whilst being uncomfortable is actually what is helping you reduce your pain levels. So similar sort of practice, similar sort of science, I believe. Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation more often, gradually expose yourself to discomfort. And then when something happens in life, let's say our back pain's worse one morning, we lift something or we're particularly stressed at that time and our back has gone into this big spasm, you can go back to what you've been practicing, breath work, and calming that response down. And reducing the levels of pain in your body. So I hope that video helps you. That's why I like foam rolling. It's inexpensive. It will save you the cost of £60 massages. No longer pay for massages. Like get this kind of stuff into your practice and use it to just help calm your nervous system down in conjunction with breath work, which should be a daily practice anyway. So yeah, not changing yourself physiologically, but actually changing your psychology and your mental response to pain, calming it all down will actually build your resilience. So what do you think? Do you use these tools? Have I changed your mind as to why you believe these actually work? Or do you believe that it's just a load of BS and actually you should just get straight into strength training, straight under the bar, and actually to get into better squat positions, you just need to squat more? Both valid arguments. Let me know what you think.